Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We're going to look at the dollar, 10-year yield, precious metals, and the companies themselves. And again, it's just my financial opinion. We're going to dive right in here and start looking at the charts, and I'll give you my opinion. So I've got DXY, and it does seem a little bit, just by looking at some of these charts, that there's a little bit of fear in the market. We've got the dollar going up. We've got the 10-year yield going down. Could this go up a little bit more? It very well could. I am still of the viewpoint that this wants to roll and turn lower. And I know some people, they say, well, you think that the interest rates going up and the dollar lower, that doesn't seem like that's a good thing. Well, that's what I think is going to happen, and that's what history has suggested on the back half of commodity bull markets. So that's what I'm sticking to. I can see the VIX here. The VIX is also turning on up here. So we could get a little bit of fear in this market. We got the dollar turning up, the VIX turning up, and 10-year yields heading a little bit lower here. I'm seeing commodities back off just a little bit. Maybe that's because they're going to be throwing some barrels of oil around. But that's what I'm seeing, just a little bit of a pullback on the 10-year, down 1.4%. In the short term. Again, I think we're in an uptrend move, quite obvious, momentum's higher, but we're in a short-term little pullback. Looking at just commodities in general, you can see that this thing has been trading sideways over time, just since I have it right here. Gold, another one, gold's been moving sideways. We do have a little bit of momentum that came down here. It's going to have to get worked off, I think. We'll probably create some sort of pennant formation or something. We'll see what formation it creates. But I think it's got a little bit more momentum to work off to the downside before we turn on up. So I think we're going to do that moving sideways. Silver, another one that's been moving sideways. I think we got a little bit more sideways action before heading higher. And then platinum. Platinum's also got a lot of momentum here. You can see this thing kind of bounce. I think we're probably going to bounce like that. Kind of come into maybe a corner here. And right there, baby. Yeah, I like it all in this general vicinity down here for potential physical platinum. Or whatever way you want to play it. It's up to you. The XAU to gold ratio, again, we're still at that resistance level. We're right here at this resistance level. On the long term, this is a monthly candlestick. We break through this, it's going to be game on runtime. So we just got to break through it. It's going to take some time. Be patient, position for the move. Now, the one thing I'm going to go over first is Newmont. Newmont is blowing up to the upside here. You'll get the dailies. Yeah, we're coming up. We could come back a little bit. But this is a large pattern. This is a big boy pattern that's breaking to the upside. This is our leader. It's our leader. It's breaking out. It's breaking out of a 30, 40-year pattern that we've got here. 40-year pattern. And this is it, guys. It's coming. It is coming. So looking at some of these other ones like Karora Resources, this is kind of a larger producer. It's not a larger producer. It's a producer. It's 780 million. It's a producer, and I think this will head higher. You'll start to see these things. They break their patterns to the upside. They do a little bit of like a large move here, a pullback, and then we move up again. So that's looking good. FSM, another one that's hanging out with the bullish engulfing right here. I like those bullish engulfings. They almost always end going higher. So that one looks good. Fortuna Silver Mines. Silver junior miners, they're still hanging out on top of the pattern. I like buying in those areas myself. And that's where we're at, is right on top of this little pattern here. And I think we'll eventually work our way higher. GDX, another one that's sitting on top of the pattern. It is hanging out here. We do have a little bit of a cluster that's formed here. Hopefully we can break to the upside. But that looks good. And if we don't, I'd say another buying opportunity. Metallic minerals, another one that's hanging up, making its way above its support resistance line. That's this line going across. We start breaking up out of here. We could see a very big run. Position and hold on if you like these small exploration companies. Koya Resources getting a little bit of selling pressure. I'd have to look in to see what's going on, but it's still getting a little bit of selling pressure there. Discovery Silver, the lows are holding. It seems like it's doing okay. We just need to see a break. And I think that'll happen with gold and silver breaking if we get a break higher, whenever that happens. First Majestic Silver, again, we're in this big old pattern. We've got the downtrend line. We're sitting here. I do think it's going to head on higher because usually when you break these downtrend lines, they result themselves going higher eventually. I mean, it could pull back down here, but eventually it'll work its way up. I don't think we're going to break through this trend line down here. We already went through Newmont. Mag Silver is another one that's been bouncing between these two support resistance areas, doing a ping pong in a more confined area. It's consolidating up. It might do a little bit more before a break, but looks good. Yamana Gold, this thing's been up quite a bit. I am looking for kind of a return move and then another move higher. So this is kind of like a first leg, and then it pulls back, and then a third leg. I should say a third wave. Impact Silver, just been moving sideways. It's a smaller silver producer. Aftermath Silver, again, it's just been moving sideways in this pattern there. Platinum Group Metals, it's hanging out above its breakout line. That's usually, if we come back here, that's another excellent buying point if we get back there. Definitely. And I hope it does, guys. I'll buy more down here. I will buy more. Siboney, Stillwater, still just hanging sideways in this kind of congestion area up here. Sandstorm Gold, we're getting into the royalty companies. Again, I like Sandstorm Gold up here. That's where I like to buy. Franco-Nevada, another one that sits on top of its pattern. I like buying up there as well. EMX Royalty, another one it's trying to break through its downtrend. It hasn't broken through its downtrend yet. We could even see down here if we get lucky enough to buy it down there. Teuton Resources, it's another one that's been moving sideways. It's still inside of its channel, barely. Wheaton Precious Metals, we're trying to break out of this resistance line. We're getting a little bit of resistance today. We just need gold and silver to take off. Then we're off to the races. Looking at Gold Royalty, it's firming up, guys. It's firming up. It's down there. It's firming up. We've got Metalla Royalty, another one where I like buying in this general vicinity here. We've got lots of support underneath. And this area would be a very good spot for a potential buy point. MMX, another one where we're sitting on top of the pattern. Usually they resolve themselves upward with time. Could it come back to retest this down here? It could. Royal Gold's already had a pretty good run. I'd probably go and buy some other things like a Cisco Gold Royalty. Probably going to be hanging around that area for a little bit. Maybe add some shares there. Altius Minerals Corporation had a pretty big run here. It's consolidating a little bit there. And I don't know if I'd buy it up here. I mean, it's already kind of done a pretty good run here. It could pull back. But guys, everything looks pretty good. I mean, if Newmont runs and we're out of that big old pattern, that's our leader. Now everything else is just lagging. And with some of these companies, they look good. So what I do is I just hold on to them. I buy them. I accumulate it. And I'd rather store my wealth in these companies than, say, dollars or NASDAQ or something else. These do look really good. They're all breaking patterns to the upside. They're very large patterns in size. And usually the larger the pattern, the bigger the move. So me holding a bunch of stocks in patterns that have just broken of large patterns seems like it's a no-brainer to me. That's just the way that I think. So give me a thumbs up for the content, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Definitely hit up the website below if you want to sign up. Go for it. It's a platinum membership. We have a meeting this weekend. You guys can answer your questions and all your questions during that meeting if you want. Go ahead and fire away, and I'll answer whatever you guys need. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.